Barrett for 5 minutes. Go
I
ahead.
can take the full 35, Chair.
Hey, that's something everyone can enjoy.
Okay.
Any objection?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have several questions, noting that I only have 5 minutes. A few quick yes or no, if I could, from you, Mr. Junoketsu. Is it your belief that the current Prime Minister knew about foreign interference, not influence attempts in the 2019 and 2021 federal elections?
Well, I wouldn't be able to say if Mr. Trudeau was informed. I can only go with the allegation that were demonstrated presented. Sorry.
Based on your, pardon me for interrupting. Based on your experience over the last 30 years, would it be your belief that he would have been briefed on it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Always be a Canada. All right, elbows up. Elbows up.
These are Muslim values. These are Canadian values.
How many kids did you molest with Jeffrey Epstein?
More than just elbows.
WTF. Here, here. Oh, yeah.
I think in the general macro sense, yes, we have to have these legislative tools. We have to have a capability of enforcement. We have to have some end games on that. And so you could use that template with other states. It's just the, there's a deterrence effect as well when you have legislation. You can use that to sort of mitigate a bit of the threat. But they are different. Russians are different. Russians operate differently, and the Iranians clearly operate differently. So I wouldn't want to suggest that we, have some sort of broad review of all the state actors and try to come up with some common approach on things. I think what we really should do is deal with what we're seized with right now, which of course is the PRC.
Thank you, Mr. Stanton. Mr. Green, we're going to go to Mr. Brock. Welcome to committee. Mr. Brock, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'd like to thank all of the witnesses for your attendance and participation in this important study. I'd like to start off by saying hello to Mr. Chu, and I have a number of questions for you, sir. So I understand that it wasn't just yourself that was impacted by foreign election interference, but in fact your former colleagues Alice Wong and Bob Soraya. Now, I've done a little bit of research. I understand that all three of those ridings have a very large Chinese-Canadian population. Can you opine as to what you believe to be one of the factors or a number of factors that contributed to the number of traditional conservative Canadians in those ridings that for whatever reason simply did not vote? I understand there was a substantial drop in the percentage of voting, not only in your riding, but Ms. Wong's and Mr. Soraya's. Can you offer some information on that for me, please?
Absolutely. I think there has been study conducted that shows across Canada, wherever there is a high concentration of Chinese population ridings with that, the number of support that the Conservative in 2021 has received has dropped, bucking the trend of all the other ridings in the neighboring ridings where those ridings are. And I think this is the effect of the disinformation that's been spread. Yes, they target specific candidates such as myself in ridings that I represent or I was running, but at the same time they would also generalize this and use it across Canada in many of the Chinese ridings to indicate that the party itself, the leadership itself, they have taken an anti-Chinese role, and the fact that they've misconstrued that Mr. O'Toole, the Conservative, will ban WeChat. Put yourself in their shoes. If you rely on WeChat for the only lifeline to connect to your family and conduct business in Canada, and if a political party will do that, and that particular party, there's an MP that proposed a foreign registry that would put you and your descendants into jeopardy. Would you be voting for that, even though they align very well with your value? So I believe across the country, it actually has hurt many of riding, even though we have won by potentially with a smaller margin.
Okay. I guess it really highlights the importance of social media to Chinese Canadians, particularly the platform of WeChat. Were there other platforms of social media or other ways that they spread the message that you ought not to be considering conservatives in the next election?
It's not just WeChat, it's not just social media, it's multidimensional. It's on the airwave that CRTC is supposed to be regulating. It's on printed media. It's also on websites. These multidimensional disinformation campaigns help to solidify the mistrust on certain particular politicians or political party. And it's very effective, especially during election time.
Was any of these issues prevalent in your election success in 2019? Did you feel the pressures from Beijing?
In 2015, I actually had an opportunity to sit down with the Consul General in Vancouver. I believe she was trying to size me up back then. But in 2019, they have decided that I'm completely beyond hope. So the information that I've got from my Chinese supporter has been that they've told people not to vote for me, but there is no active campaign against me that I can observe.
In 2019, NSICOP, the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians, which is made up of parliamentarians of every stripe, studied the whole issue of foreign election interference and made a number of recommendations that would appear that the Liberal government did not follow through on. Our Prime Minister most recently, in light of all of the information that has been leaking, has indicated that he has to do a better job and follow the recommendations. How does that make you feel, sir, knowing that the Prime Minister who had this information 4 years ago essentially ignored all of those recommendations?
Very quick response, please, Mr. Chu, if you don't mind.
Thank you. I try to be as nonpartisan as I can, but frankly, being a targeted person and a particular ethnic race, I feel I'm vulnerable. That my government is not there to protect me when it's needed.
Happy birthday! A few days short. A few days short, but didn't have a chance to see you on the day.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations, you're spending more money on taxes than on food, clothing, and shelter combined.
Hey, that's something everyone can enjoy.
Yeah, and that's why I was trying to find out the emerging other nations that are there, and that's why it's important for me to be here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Baines. We've got about 35 minutes left. We're going to go to the next round and start with Mr. Barrett for 5 minutes. Go ahead.
I can take the full 35, Chair. Okay.
Any objection?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have several questions, noting that I only have 5 minutes. A few quick yes or no, if I could, from you, Mr. Junoketsu. Is it your belief that the current Prime Minister knew about foreign interference, not influence attempts in the 2019 and 2021 federal elections?
Well, I wouldn't be able to say if Mr. Trudeau was informed. I can only go with the allegation that were demonstrated presented.
Based on your, pardon me for interrupting. Based on your experience over the last 30 years, would it be your belief that he would have been briefed on it?
Yes.
Do you believe that sufficient action, or do you believe that sufficient action was taken in response to it by the government?
Nope.
Do you believe that, based on media reports and on your experience, that the current government benefited in any way from interference attempts in the 2019 or 2021 elections?
Potentially.
We know that the CCP undertook a campaign to gain influence with Mr. Trudeau through clandestine funding of his family foundation, the Trudeau Foundation. Do you believe that that campaign has been effective?
Yes.
Mr. Stanton, thank you, sir. Mr. Stanton, in June of 2017, it's been reported that the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff requested a brief on foreign interference in Canadian politics, and that briefing said that there's a substantial. Are you familiar with this, sir?
Not
The
really.
report. You're not familiar with the
No.
reporting of this?
No.
Any of the panelists familiar with the reporting of the 2017 request for a brief by Ms. Telford on foreign interference in elections?
Nope.
Okay. Moving on. How would the Prime Minister, based on your experience in the security apparatus, how would a Prime Minister or their staff be briefed on foreign interference issues by CSIS? Well, specifically, like who from CSIS typically, like what level of individual would deliver that briefing to a Prime Minister?
Sorry, who are you asking?
Anyone who has an answer.
I don't have an answer from my experience of what particular vehicles of briefing or personnel. I know that, CSIS provides a whole range of intelligence products, from assessment to raw. You'll be looking at the Privy Council office, you'll be looking at various departments.
Okay.
So how that would make its way to the Prime Minister or the Prime Minister's National Security Advisor, I really have no insight.
Okay. Do you believe that the scientists, Mr. Stanton, are you familiar with the
Yes,
case
I am.
of the Winnipeg lab?
Yeah.
And that there were, that on CSIS's information, 2 scientists were fired or removed from their employment there?
Yes, I am aware, yeah.
Do you believe that they were CCP agents?
Not necessarily. Here's what I believe, based on the media reports. I've been following it. The service provided advice in terms of a clearance, whether it's a clearance renewal or whether it's a clearance, which goes to the
Sure.
deputy head of a department, and it's their decision what to do. It's not CSIS' decision. They simply say, we would recommend perhaps not a renewal. And then I think these 2 individuals basically returned to mainland China.
So they're not still in, your belief is that they're not still in Canada?
Well, from what I've read in the media, it looks
Okay.
like no one's around, and I think the fact no charges have been laid might reflect that. But I look at this and I see, okay, there was an issue there. Perhaps proprietary information was sent back to China. Who knows? It probably doesn't meet the threshold of espionage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just have about 30 seconds left.
Okay.
So in my previous round of questions, I talked about this issue of MI5 and the FBI making a public announcement with respect to that foreign agent acting in the UK. So those are 2 of our Five Eyes partners who are publicly communicating on issues of foreign influence and foreign interference. Yet it's radio silence, and then we're left to question whether or not we have CSIS agents who are leaking because we don't have anyone from CSIS who's actually speaking to the real issues that we all know for a fact are happening and being perpetrated on this country by state actors from around the world, including from Beijing. How do we fix that?
And here's my answer.
It's got to be real quick.
It'll be really quick. In those cases, those Allied releases, it was probably based on very convincing intelligence, probably corroborated intelligence, so they did the release. All we're getting through the media, all due respect, is allegations. So why the Canadian government wouldn't make these warnings and send emails to everybody, it may be because there just wasn't meeting that threshold of solid, reliable intelligence that MPs need to be advised.
Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Wilczynski. Thank you, Mr. Barrett.
Yeah, and that's why I was trying to find out the emerging other nations that are there, and that's why it's important for me to be here.
How many kids did you molest Jeffrey Epstein?
More than just elbows.
I'm sorry, you're fired. Get out of here.